Unrivaled League needs Caitlin Clark, and they are preparing to offer her a massive deal.
Even though they thought they were in on the exclusive club, Angel Ree and A.A. Wilson are definitely feeling the heat as Caitlin Clark finally disclosed her leaked contract for the Unmatched League. Everyone else was unaware of the amazing offer that Breanna Stewart was making to Clark in private.
It has just been reported today that Caitlin Clark could receive a Lionel Messi-like offer to play in Unrivaled startup 3-on-3 league, which is a full-court press to sign her.
The strategy was simple. Clark wasn't just secretly hired by Unrivaled. Rather, they made it appear like top-secret intelligence by enforcing a stringent no-disclosure provision on her.
Now, this is also interesting to me because I feel like it is kind of late in the game to start recruiting Caitlin Clark. The Unrivaled League has 26 of their 30 players already.
Clark, however, has now had enough of the silence and is asserting categorically that everyone who is celebrating her absence from Unrivaled was mistaken.
Caitlin Clark is needed for this league. It should be one of their main goals is to get her to play in the league no matter what that costs, no matter what that is going to take.
The main objective of Unrivaled, the new, daring face of women's basketball, is to totally change the landscape of women's sports. They didn't come here to follow anybody else's rules, so let me give you the complete tale, if you don't already know.
Now they're realizing we might need Caitlin. Nafisa Collier, who is one of the founders of Unrivaled, had this to say about Caitlin Clark.
Backed by influential people like Nam and Breanna Stewart, this is more than a league. In essence, it is a movement. Envision 3 fierce games. Giving women's basketball the kind of Showtime focus it hasn't received in years is the aim of the prime time coverage. The amazing part is that they made this splash without looking for any athletes. Rather, from the beginning, they had a single dominant name in mind. Clark Caitlin.
Go ahead and look. Everywhere you turn, Indiana Fever's breaking.
But when Unrivaled first appeared, the plot deteriorated, leaving fans perplexed as to why Caitlin Clark, the largest rising star, was not present. Sports programs were unable to quit posing the question, and social media erupted. The comment section is unparalleled. Was brimming with people inquiring as to Caitlin's location.
It's definitely upsetting. I don't think nobody in our league should be facing any sort of racism, hurtful, disrespectful, hateful comments and threats.
It's brand new. It's going to be hard to get eyeballs on it. All of these, the WNBA is in their 28th season and it's still a new league. It's hard to get the kind of virality, viewership, all the things that you want right off the bat. And especially if you don't have a big name or a big draw.
A rookie pull is not something you see every day. For most fans, the fact that she wasn't even in the starting lineup for the largest new league felt like a kick in the face. With a crowd so big that there was a 50% increase in venue attendance. Unrivaled didn't appear to value Clark, or worse, they didn't think they could pull off their big premiere without her.
The kind of physicality and double teams and face guards and all of those things that she was receiving on the court, but also all of the noise, all of the drama, all of the media circus surrounding her off the court, that just had to have been so much to handle.
But none of Stewart's outstanding employees were completely aware of their responsibilities. A well-timed revelation is nothing new to Breanna Stewart, one of the league's co-founders. She didn't unintentionally conceal Clark's involvement. Instead, they intended to keep the supporters guessing until surprising them with the news when it counted. They didn't want Clark's contract to take precedence over the rest of the team too quickly. Thus, they were building suspense and preparing the scene so that Clark's announcement would ultimately hit like a ton of bricks.
She should be one of the top paid players in the world just for the sheer numbers that she's bringing.
To join Unrivaled, Caitlin Clark received an incredible offer of $75 million. And it was like an earthquake in the sports world when those leaked details made news. Clark was supposed to become the official face of Unrivaled, a player ambassador marketing machine, and she succeeded in doing so. A substantial fixed salary, exclusive TV rights, sponsorship partnerships, and even a front row seat in Unrivaled. Ambitious intentions to go global.
to drive revenue so we can give the players extra income opportunities. I had to educate the players. They're like, good, 75 million divided by 144, pay us.
Avoiding agitating the situation too quickly was the main goal. However, the statistics were like a tidal wave for perspective once they were released. Stewart and her team were aware that this arrangement was so significant that the moment the other players learned about it, they would begin discussing renegotiations or possibly even feeling excluded. The current NBA MVP, a Wilson, makes almost $230,000 a year. Clark's deal is the kind that yells new level like no one's business.
And it was just announced recently that Unrivaled struck a television deal with TNT. Now, this exclusive media rights deal is reported to be 45 plus primetime games. TNT Sports are also invested in the league, and sources say that it's a 6-year deal that could be worth more than $100 million.
In 2024, the WNBA saw an average of roughly 657,000 viewers per game, with Clark at the center. They are clearly serious about making women's basketball a primetime sensation, as evidenced by their recent unparalleled agreement with TNT. We're talking about more than 45 televised games and a full-fledged effort to attract viewers that not even the WNBA has mastered. Unrivaled is wagering that she can more than double that amount.
Probably the biggest issue that players had. We did a player survey and travel. The league was able to kind of take a lot of pressure off of itself.
Additionally, Clark's colleagues, elite WNBA players like A.A. Wilson and Angel Reese, have a somewhat different aura, which the fans love. Clark's offer is more than just shocking to some. It's a sobering reminder of the huge financial gaps in the sport.
But there have been so many players, coaches, media personality who have been so afraid to just admit the fact that Caitlin Clark has been the sole reason for so many of these things happening this season in the WNBA.
Angel Reese even expressed her annoyance on social media, suggesting that a single huge contract overshadowed years of hard work for the sport. She cannot be held accountable for this because a rookie's offer is far higher than the salary of seasoned stars, which is a setback for players earning between $150,000 and $200,000. When you take into account that Clark's agreement is more than 20 times their compensation, it is clear how unmatched bankroll priorities are.
Yeah, what's the headline? It says, we're not asking to get paid what the men get paid. We're asking to get paid the same percentage of revenue shared.
The thrilling part starts now. This agreement has the potential to significantly enhance women's sports, but there is also a chance that it will lead to significant conflict. The WNBA has fought hard for better pay, respect, and airtime. They are now witnessing Clark enter Disneyland with a golden ticket that is far more valuable than anything they have ever seen. It's easy to see how seeing a rookie like Clark suddenly in a league of her own, both monetarily and physically, could cause resentment among players who have spent years perfecting the sport.
But we didn't want to rush into it because we wanted new owners, like new ownership groups. Anyone who knows sports
Caitlin
here
Clark
knows,
isn't just any player, though.
A true marketing goldmine and a full-fledged sensation. Given that the WNBA has always suffered with lower attendance than its male equivalents, her first season in the league proved why.
Raised overall viewership, like Nafisa said, they're changing venues just to accommodate all the fans who want to come watch Caitlin Clark play.
The Clark effect caused a 50% rise in arena attendance. To witness her brilliance on the court, fans came. Additionally, she drew an astounding 1 million spectators every game while she performed in the WNBA. Clark didn't just join the league, she started it right away. Her presence enthralled viewers long after the buzzer sounded, and her highlights became well-known videos on the internet.
A lot of this noise came by people that were sitting on this network. They tried to minimize her, said, well, you giving her all this credit.
Now let's quickly talk about products. Supporters desired more. Rather than merely observing Clark, they desired her jersey and a portion of the action. Broke as it practically flew off the racks. NBA clothing sales records, due to the identity of Caitlin Clark, her behavior, and the WNBA, her whole brand has been fighting bravely to obtain the acknowledgement that it so richly merits. The entrance of Clark was like a gift from God. From the gods of basketball, she brought much-needed excitement and publicity. Moreover, she drew in more than just the typical audience. Additionally, she attracted a completely new, younger, and far larger fan base.
But we have former NBA players playing in Big Three, right? So for Cube to come out and be like, I'm going to pay Caitlin Clark more than I play any of these guys who used to play in the NBA. I'm going to pay Caitlin Clark more because that's the value that I see in her.
Ian Clark was another league before its unmatched offer. To put this in perspective, the top players in the Big Three league, who are primarily former NBA greats, earn between $100,000 and $500,000 annually. But in order for Clark to join his league, Ice Cube was prepared to pay 6 times that sum. This was more than just bringing in a gifted athlete. Additionally, it was about introducing Clark's electric energy and unquestionable appeal to a league that is renowned for its all-male big-name lineup. Yes, in 2024, all of the former NBA players will participate in 3 honor games.
It was so unapologetic with the way that he came out and said, this is who we want, this is the value that we see in her, regardless. If she can't make a game, that's totally fine. We know that it coincides with WNBA season.
This wasn't your typical sports deal. In a league filled with ex-NBA titans, Cube was having a significant impact. He perceived something in Clark that defied all expectations. Even if it meant putting his former superstars' egos aside, he was prepared to add to the major 3 traditions in order to make room for her. Because Clark's game extended beyond women's basketball, he desired her appeal in other sports. Fans from all across the sports world could be drawn in by its allure.
We have Lisa Leslie, Nancy Lieberman, like there are legends among us in the Big Three, and there are high-level former professional athletes on our courts, and he was okay putting it out there because he knew how much it could help the Big Three.
This is where Clark's choice becomes even more fascinating, though, as she turned down Cube and decided to stay in the WNBA, proving that she wasn't only motivated by money or a quick opportunity at stardom. Clark chose the WNBA because she saw it as her home base and a league where she could advance professionally and help others improve from the inside out. Her commitment to her career and the future of women's sports was evident in this choice.
Rivaled would have taken that exact approach, and what it feels like to me is Caitlin Clark was an afterthought in all of this. And maybe she was, maybe she wasn't, maybe they wanted to wait until after the WNBA season.
When Unrivaled eventually returned with their $75 million mega contract, they realized they weren't just signing a player because they had chosen the WNBA. They had a once-in-a-generation talent, someone who was devoted, extremely ambitious, and prepared to prioritize the sport. In athletics, Clark established a completely new benchmark for loyalty. Money is nice, of course, but for her, remaining meant more than a salary. Fans took notice of her desire to improve women's basketball and contribute to its future.